Hello everybody and welcome to this short video on the employer dashboard. We at the University of Cumbria are excited to launch this new feature within Aptem, and today we are going to be looking specifically at the employer dashboard and what that has to offer you in terms of tracking your learners' progress. So we'll briefly introduce Aptem and what it has to offer. Then we'll look at the employer dashboard and we're going to do that via live demo. During this live demo, we'll have a look at the signature tile and show you how you can sign off your compliance documents and reviews. And then finally, we'll discuss what support is available for you moving forward. So Aptem is our apprenticeship management system, what we use for all apprenticeships on programme within the University of Cumbria. And it basically provides the learner with a complete sort of end-to-end platform throughout their apprenticeship. So it gives them a full training plan relevant to the programme in which they are studying for and any sub-programmes in which are added on to that main delivery programme. It monitors off-the-job hours and generates a RAG rating of their progress through their tripartite reviews. It will also generate an e-portfolio for the learner to take with them through to endpoint assessment. The employer dashboards allow employers to view the progress of learners that they have permissions to view. The permissions allow us to differentiate between an employer, line manager and mentor belonging to an apprentice. The employer dashboard allows users to filter by programme, employer group, learner group and programme status, which we'll have a look through on the live demo. And then it allows employers to gain an insight to learner performance across that organisation, indicates where employer actions may be required, and allows employers to drill down into the relevant cards to gain further insights into these metrics shown. Dashboard also highlights actions that are required for you as an employer to complete, for example, compliance documents and contribute towards those tripartite reviews. So we have created an employer Aptem account for each employer that we have on record, and then we allow that employer to have the permissions relevant to their role. You'll then be sent an invitation via email to activate your Aptem account, and once you do so, once it opens, the employer dashboard is the screen that you will be shown on login. And this is what it will look like. So you can see here you've got the blue left-hand menu here, and then on the main display we have the different cards. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go on to the live demo to look at this employer dashboard and the drill downs. So this is the employer account that we have created for the benefit of this short video. And on here, as we said, we've got the left-hand menu, which includes the dashboard, learners, signatures, and messages. And then on the main display are these cards, and we'll run through each of these cards and show you what they sort of show within them. So this first one here, learner life cycle, this card gives you an idea of where learners are in the life cycle. The number of learners in each of the following stages. So we've got started in the last 30 days, learners on programme, and whereby you have learners that have been on programme a significant time, will be other sort of options here, and these will be learners within 30 days of their planned end date, learners in EPA, and learners who have passed their end date. But for the purpose of this video, we've just set up a few recent learners that have started on the programme. So if we click into here, you can drill down and you will see the learners applicable to that. Just taking a little while to load there. So we've got a list of learners here, and then we can see for these options at the top here, we can see their progress. Um, so there's no onboarding status for these learners, so they're on an active delivery program. And you can see here if they've got overdue components within their training program. Their RAG status, so red, amber, green, based on any reviews that have taken place. And then this learner progress bar, if you hover over it, it'll give you a detailed account of where that learner sits within program. And then you can see here that they're active. Again, so if we click over to Learners on Programme, that's started sort of after the 30 days, you can see here a much more detailed sort of account of their progress. So start date, end date, their tutor, overdue components again. Again, you'll be able to see the overdue components, but you won't actually be able to select into those and see what the overdue components are. And then their learning plan progress. Here you can see that Peter is slightly behind of where he's expected to be, so it's showing a pink progress, whereas Jenna and Jordan are right on track, if not beyond where they're predicted to be, and so their timeline is blue. So back to the main display, and the next card we have is Learner Summary. This card shows a number of learners sorted by their program status. So we've got onboarding. Okay, so here we've got Robert, who's actually just completed his onboarding now, so he'll be now ready to be enrolled onto delivery. And then we've got our active learners here. And you'll be able to sort by these. You can also click on these options at the top, and this will sort of display them in that order, RAG status, so they'd be grouped together, red, amber, green. So back to the main display, and then next we have learning plan progress. So this card shows learning plan progress as measured by their performance on their learning plan activities. And this summarises the number of learners who are behind, on track, or ahead of their learning plan activities. And again, you'll see that the pink, the blue, and then green is ahead of where they need to be. So that's brilliant. You can click on any of these statuses to view the learning plan progress drill down, which has detailed information and actions where applicable. So if we just go on behind, we can see here that Peter is slightly behind of where he should be. On track, so Jenna Charlotte, she's right on track of where she should be, and then ahead. Brilliant. Okay, so we've got the learners here that are ahead of where they should be, and you can sort of see that through there. So the next tile that we've got is the off-the-job hours, and this card summarises the off-the-job hours and shows insufficient planned hours, the minimum hours that they're required, planned hours, and they're completed, and their progress with off the job. So we can see that all our learners are ahead of target for their hours. If they were behind on their expected hours, then that would highlight here within this card, and it would show that they were behind target. So the number of hours that they are behind at that current point in time. The next card here is the RAG status, and this card informs you how the learners are doing with respect to that RAG, so red, amber, green, and you can hover over to see how many learners are upon what RAG status. These learners with no RAG status are most likely the learners that have started within the last 30 days and haven't had a review as yet. So then finally, we've got this requires attention card, and items will only show on here if it does require the attention from the employer. So we've got components overdue. and this will drill down into the learners who have overdue components, um, and you'll sort of be able to see what learners um, need to get back on track and maybe offer them support with that. And then we've got this tile here, which is the signatures required. So this will be required signatures from the employer. So you can access signatures through the required attention card, or signatures on the left-hand menu here. So clicking either will sort of transport you to this screen. So signatures are split into two windows. We've got compliance and reviews. So you can see those there. So you can review the status of available documents that you're responsible for by clicking into the signatures, and then you'll see the list of documents that are required for signature. Um, You will only be able to sign the apprenticeship agreement once the commitment statement has been signed, and this is as per funding rules. And so, as you can see on here, Robert Test has the commitment statement that is required to be signed, and once that is signed and complete, it will unlock this apprenticeship agreement, and then the employer will then be able to sign that off as well. So then you can click into reviews, and this is where the learner has had a TPR, and you'll be able to sign in to these and pop your signature on there as well and complete these off also. So going back to our main dashboard, at the top here, you can see the filtering options. So briefly sort of spoke about this earlier in the presentation, but just while we're live. So you can filter learners by program or by groups, and these are your quick filters. Your detailed filters will open a sort of window here, and then here you can filter by program status. Um, or date, etc., groups, learner of groups, programs. So that just gives you a bit more of a detailed filter function to restrict that view that you're going to see on the screen. Messages, so you can get alerts to you, notifications of signatures or things that require your attention, or you can direct message the learners themselves using the messaging facility. So that brings us to the end of this video. There'll be other videos released. One in which we're working on currently is mass processing for compliance documents. This will be relevant for employers who have a large apprentice group and need to sign those compliance documents as a sort of a group signature. Um, so the support that's available to you, you will have had this presentation sent to you via email, and on here I've included some links, some sort of useful hints and tips. For any issues regarding your Aptem account, please contact us on aptem@cumbria.ac.uk. And this will be sort of functionality issues with Aptem or any questions, recommendations. For any queries, feedback, recommendations, or just anything to do with apprenticeships themselves, you can contact apprenticeships@cumbria.ac.uk. So that's all from us from the apprenticeship team. We hope that you found this video useful, and we look forward to working with you throughout this apprenticeship. Best wishes. Thank you. Goodbye.